My brother.
What's good? What's good?
Let's get this off here. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
Oh, man. I'm good. It's an honor, man, to be sitting down with you and talking.
My pleasure, man.
I got a lot I want to get into with you. I know I got you for a half hour, so I don't want to waste no time.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. So I want you to just real quick give a brief description on how you got started with DJing as a DJ. How DJ EFN came about.
Oh man, so DJing spoke to me from the beginning when I was young and just going in my era we was going to the roller skating ring and seeing the DJ play for the kids in the skate. The videos with the DJs in the background, I like that vibe. Like I was like, I want to be that dude. So I gravitated towards wanting to be a DJ. I just didn't have the bread to get turntables. So it started out with 2 double tape decks, and I used to make mixes with the 2 double tape decks. Fast forward a little bit, and then I got the Source magazine was coming around in early 90s, and they had this DJ starter kit where you could get like everything, and it was like some cheap Gemini turntables and a mixer. I ended up getting that, and just started DJing with those, man, until I graduated to my Technique 1200s and the history from there.
Okay. So as starting out as a DJ, I know for me, as being a DJ myself, some of my early inspirations were people like Funk Flex, DJ Clue, Lonnie B. So who were some of your early influencers? I know you came in doing mixtapes. So who were some of them early influencers that EFN listened to when he was first starting out?
Definitely Kid Capri was a huge influence for me, man. Kid Capri, like on non-mixtape tip, it was like Jazzy Jeff, it was Terminator X, it was DJ Yella and Dre, it was Cut Creator, which was LL, Jam Master Jay.
Yeah,
those guys. And on the mixtape end, that really inspired me to do mixtapes is Tony Touch and SNS and Ron G.
Wow.
And then and locally we had cats like DJ Craze, which is like a world-renowned DJ.
Right.
And so I mean I had a lot of influences, man. A lot of DJ influences.
Right. I've been DJing since I was 17. I'm 28 now, so for about 11 years I've been doing it, man. And I still hold those things, those values that my influences installed in me coming into the game. I still hold them today. So I want to ask you basically, it's kind of a touchy question, but a lot of the younger generation feels as if now with streaming platforms and DSPs, the DJs is no longer needed, right?
Right.
Because the way we used to do it was you had to go through the DJ to get your record broken and, go through that process. But now they feel as if they use TikTok or if they use Apple Music or, what may have you and put their money behind that, that's their DJ. How do you feel about the younger generation feeling like the DJ is no longer needed?
I mean, I understand it, man. I mean, they really don't need the DJ anymore, in a sense, because of the way technology is. And also the DJ kind of shot themselves in the foot as well. There was a point, maybe in the late 90s, early 2000s, going into 2010 era too, where the DJs were such superstars on the radio, that they handled themselves in a way that was like arrogant, and they became these gatekeepers, and they kind of turned a lot of people off to the DJs. They're like, oh, we gotta go, you gotta go through me, and then you gotta either pay me or you gotta, kiss my ass or this, that, and the other. Right. So, and same thing with the big club DJs, So, I mean, I understand if a generation grew up saying, man, fuck that. I don't want to have to go through these guys. Like, these guys, who the fuck they, the DJ should have kind of stayed humble and because the DJ is the beginning of everything that's hip hop, man.
Right.
So, we should have just played this position in a more respectful manner, in my opinion. Right. But regardless of that, what I just said, technology kind of took us out of the equation in a sense, because anybody could be a DJ person, technically. So what I tell DJs, like someone who really identifies as a DJ, is like, DJ because you love it first and foremost,
Right.
and and master that craft, but then understand that the DJ, to me, because we are the foundation of the culture, that we can do so much more than just being a DJ. Like we could be the best A&Rs, we could be the
Right.
best promoters, we could do everything, because that's what a DJ has to do anyways. You know what I'm saying? We have to pick music, what sounds good, what's the best, what's the single. We were picking singles off of albums
Right.
forever. So, diversify yourself, because the DJ, a real DJ, can really do all kinds of things, man.
Oh man, that's dope. So that's crazy, because that brings us into the next question, which is basically what made you make that full transition from disc jockey to now being a media personality, a podcaster, in a sense, a tastemaker of hip hop music. What was that? What made you say? Because I read up on you. You was on radio in Miami at one time also. So what made you make that transition, and how did that work for you?
I mean, it was kind of like what we're talking about, that the whole landscape of DJing changed, and I didn't like where it was going, because I'm from the era where the DJ was the taste maker. And when we played a record and you never knew that record, you never heard it, you trust the DJ. Like, he's telling me this is dope, then it's dope. So once the DJ kind of became like a jukebox, basically, and
Right.
and I'm old school in the sense that I'm from the vinyl era, so that to me was like a culture in itself, man. Just going through records. Trust me, I don't want to carry crates around, but there's something about going through crates,
Right.
that's
Right.
different. So I couldn't really get into the whole like just going on the computer and looking at things.
Right.
But yeah, I was always looking for different ways to like flex my creativity and
Right.
use all the knowledge that I've been gaining throughout the years. And I was always pivoting. And so I didn't want to be in the front of the camera. That was never what I ever wanted to do. That's why I decided to be a DJ. I wanted to be behind the scenes in a sense.
Right.
But at some point you got to just, do for, I got to do for myself and do for my brand and what's right for the brand. And that's when, we pivoted with Nori and we did Drink Champs.
Okay. So basically, so let's get into that, right? As the world may know, you are the co-host on one of the biggest podcasts in America today, Drink Champs podcast. One of my favorite podcast shows to sit down and watch, because I feel like you guys, you talk about the stuff that in the culture that's missing. You get that, right? So what are some things that go on behind the scenes of doing podcasts that some people just may not know?
I mean, tracking down the guests, making sure we get the guests there. Like, not everybody thinks that, if it's a popping podcast, that the guests are just going to keep coming through. But honestly, early on in Drink Champs, people started getting scared to come to Drink Champs. They're like, I don't want to go get drunk and Nori asked me how many abortions I had. Like, they was like, they got nervous. So, there's that whole hustle of, making sure you getting the guests, and then the production side of it, and the marketing and branding of the show, the business of podcasting, which is audio, and we have the video and we have the television show. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and you're just seeing like the finished product in a sense.
Right. This is so, because when the pandemic first, overblown in America, I said, okay, I wanted to get into the podcasting game, but I'm a one-man band,
Right.
So I don't have a team behind me booking people for me. I do all of this by myself, emails and everything. And I just seen how strenuous it got on me to book the guests, track the guests, and then try to get the visual set up in the studio and going, the production side of things, doing the audio.
Right.
It was so much on me at one time, and I was like, I can't do it by myself. So I just stepped away from it. But now I'm starting to find a different way by doing it virtually, and it's working for me.
Yeah.
So let's go into who are some people that you guys have a lot of interviews. First off, one of my favorite is, of course, Faith. I love when Faith was there.
That was dope. Yeah,
that was dope. Faith Evans was dope. Pharrell was dope. Gosh, Young Dolph. You guys had Young Dolph there,
yeah,
right?
that was a good one, man.
Young Dolph was dope too, because I felt like I felt like the industry felt like you guys were just catering to the older crowd, right? The veterans of hip hop, and then you brought Young Dolph in there. It was like, oh snap, they actually listened to us. Right. So who are some people you have not yet to interview that you like? All right, now we need to get you on Drink Champs.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them almost happened just for whatever reason it didn't happen. But Kanye, I think, would be crazy. A Drink Champs episode with Kanye would be wild, and that almost happened at one point.
Right.
And Kendrick is one that I really want, which almost happened as well. Almost happened 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
I think Kendrick would be an amazing episode as well. You know, Jay. That hands down.
Yeah.
And he watches the show. He's a part, like we were partners with him as well. So
right.
Jay and who else, man? We definitely need a part 2 of Nas, because the Nas one that we did.
Man, Nas one was dope. Okay,
yeah, but we need a part 2 because that wasn't like it was official, but the real Drink Champs are the ones that are like down here in Miami with us, where they're in our world. And the Nas one was special. We did it in his album release party.
Right.
And I mean, there's a lot of people, man. J. Cole, I would like to have on the show.
Yeah, Cole would be dope.
Yeah,
dope. I would like to see you guys. You know, and that's what we're talking. We're talking about the younger generation. Are you guys looking into acclimating the younger generation, like the babies and Lil Baby? You know, guys who are doing it right now in the industry. Are you guys looking to integrate them into the Drink Champs podcast show also?
Okay, it's not that we're not looking to have them on the show. I mean, I think it'd be dope to have them on the show. But the thing with us that I think is special, or that what we don't want to happen is we want the guests to feel like we know a lot about them, or we have a lot to talk about, because we kind of either we're from the same generation, or we had the same experiences, or we know the same people. So when you have the newer guys on there, that's not the same. And then they might feel like, oh man, these people, they playing me, or this is a whack interview, or this is whack. And we don't want that. So what we try to do is, if we have a younger cat, we try to have him come on with his OG.
Okay.
So that it's a conversation like that, you know?
Yeah, okay.
But we're not close to the younger generation, because I actually think, this is what I like to say, and then I'm talking for myself, not for Nori. Mm-hmm. We're the home of the OGs, or the home of our generation, because there's OGs before us, you know? But when I say we're the home, that doesn't mean that I'm going to exclude the young generation, because I think the OGs, they're going to benefit if we bring younger cats into the fold, because it's going to bring a younger audience that's going to discover the OG story, and everybody benefits from all that, you know? So that's what I would say to that. But I think it just has to do with what kind of conversation can we have with a cat that only has a 2-year career or a 3-year career.
Right.
When we're used to talking to people from like the 90s era or the early 2000s that have a 10, 15, 20-year career and know kind of the same people.
I just seen one that I'm definitely going to tune in. I seen you guys post it. I don't want to say it on here. Well, this might come out after you guys.
You can say whatever. Yeah, say it.
Okay. The DMX interview?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I am clamoring for that.
Yeah, Pat, and that's part 2.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I think X has a unique story. Me being born in Queens, New York. Okay, so I was born in New York. I was born in the 90s. So I lived through I tell people, you could basically take me from the Hard Knock Life tour and up. Okay, that's me. Right. That's all me right there. So I think that X has a unique story, and he has something that the world needs to know about. And I also read that he got an album coming out soon. So yeah, I think X is one of them people, as you said, that's been around the game for a while, and you guys probably most likely know the same people and been in the same offices. And I think X just has that story. X always is a good storyteller, so I'm clamoring to see that one.
Oh man, X is always this is crazy.
X is always a good storyteller. So when I seen that one, I lit up. I said, yo, this is it right here. And I love watching you guys. We get us, I got my bottle of Ciroc over there. We get a bottle, I got my bottle of Ciroc over there. We get us a bottle of Ciroc. We sit on YouTube. We watch y'all guys, man. We love it.
Appreciate it, man.
So I know, okay, let me give you a little backstory, right? So I moved to Miami back in 2012. Miami Heat had LeBron James at this time, so Miami
Right.
was up here. And as a DJ, wherever I moved to, I treat it. Disclaimer: I haven't been to jail, but I treat it like it's jail. Who's the
Right.
big man on campus,
Right.
right? And when I got to Miami, I heard EFN, 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 EFN.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and followed you back in 2012. That was before I started doing podcasting and stuff.
Right.
So I heard a little bit about you, and I always wanted to dig a little deeper. So what is Crazyhood?
So Crazyhood is my company, but it's more than a company. It's also my crew. You know, it's my crew goes back to high school. You know,
Right.
Same people. I still roll with the same people that I ran with in high school, and then jumping out of high school, I decided I wanted to get serious about, you know, the music industry and really, you know, try to like help develop this local Miami hip hop culture on a professional level. And so I told my crew at the time, and not everybody saw the same vision, but a lot of the fellas did, and everybody's like, yeah, we down, man. We down to support anyway, whatever we got to do. And we had, you know, we had MCs in the crew, we had producers and all of that. So that's what Crazyhood is. It's a company. It's the company of everything that I do is through Crazyhood Production, but it's also a family. It's a crew.
Okay. So I read that you guys had like a merch store back in 2000.
Yeah, we had a store called Crazy Goods. Yep, 97.
Crazy Good. And 97,
2000. 2000, yeah.
That was up in Kendall, right?
Yeah, a little bit on the outskirts of Kendall on Bird Road and 137th Avenue. Yep. If anybody knows the area.
Okay. So do you guys ever? I know, and the reason being I'm asking this is looking at the Marathon store in California, the flagship store, which was Nipsey Hussle's store, and how that, you know, affected the community, you know, being there. Do you guys ever look to revisit that, opening up a flagship store back in Kendall? And
Nah, you know, I mean, no, I haven't thought of it. Well, I mean, I have thought of it. I'm lying. I just haven't thought of it seriously, because when we did it, there wasn't a lot of hip hop stores,
right.
In Miami. You know, when I say hip hop stores, that you could buy like the gear that like the different, you know, like Mecca at the time, and
right.
Fat Farm, which was with Russell Simmons brand, and Biggie had Brooklyn Mint, and
Brooklyn,
yeah. So those are the type of the things we sold in the store, you know, and we sold graffiti stuff, and we had a record pool, and we sold vinyl, and we sold mixtapes, all of that. And there wasn't much of that in Miami. There was maybe 2 or 3 maybe stores, but a lot of the stores were also like hip hop / weed shops, you know, that you could buy the bongs and
right.
So, and I don't smoke, my boys do, but I don't. So I was like, that's not what I want. I didn't want a mom to bring her kid into the store and it'd be like a mixtape and a bong, you know, like I didn't want that. You know, I didn't want that vibe. So, but we did the store, and it wasn't like our passion wasn't retail. It was just hip hop. Right. So we didn't really know the ins and outs of running a hip hop clothing. Let me take away the word hip hop, a clothing store.
Right.
So there was a lot of like learning curve that we had to go through, and money lost. And we weren't rich kids. We were scraping together, put the store together. So we lost a lot of bread doing it, but you know, we gained a lot of experience. We made money at some point when we finally learned the game. Right. And then right when we're starting to learn it, 2 things happened. The cops started fucking with us. I mean, they fucked with us the whole time because we were young guys.
You can always count on Miami police, man.
Yeah, we're young Black and Latino kids, you know, man, doing having a store, and they was like, nah, y'all doing something else, you know. So they was fucking with us, and then the big department stores in the malls started to all of a sudden carry all the same clothing, and then they buying it in bulk, so they marking it down. So then there was no point anymore. Like we couldn't compete with that. So those 2 things happened at the same time. Then we just closed the store after that.
Closed the store down.
Yeah, we just opened a studio after that.
Okay, so where's the studio at?
Well, no, we had a studio for about 10 years, not too far from where I'm at now. And then we've moved around. Like we were in downtown Miami, and now I'm at my studio, my new studio now. We got a podcast studio, a vocal studio, and then my office, which I'm upstairs. We got two floors.
Okay, when I come to Miami, I gotta tap in with you.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I also read that you got Crazyhood Film Academy. Is that something you looking forward to get into, shooting movies and?
Oh no, I've been doing it. No, we've been doing it. Before Drink Champs was on Revolt, I already had.
You had the documentary Coming Home.
We had 2 films already that was on Revolt. So that's a whole other thing that we've been doing for a while now. And I'm actually working on some. I'm gonna announce some pretty cool things soon and collaborations for that film series, which is called Coming Home. And we're in the middle of finishing. Not in the middle. We're finishing our 6th film in the series, where we went to South Africa. And then we're gonna keep doing. The idea is we're gonna keep pushing the series forward and do it in a just do it bigger and better. And so I'm gonna announce some things soon.
That's dope. That's dope. How was that for you going home, Cuba?
It was crazy, man. It was emotional. It was crazy. I mean, I had never been there, but growing up Cuban, you felt like you knew what Cuba was, and just all the emotional baggage. If anybody knows any Cubans that that their grandparents or parents that came from Cuba, they put that emotion on you too. And so it was pretty emotional going there, man. And but it was super dope, and it's exactly what inspired for me to continue doing the series from that one film.
Dope. By the way, I love Lil Havana. Every time I'm in Lil Havana. So you're a podcaster, one of the top podcasters in the world.
Appreciate it.
Who are your top 5 podcasters? What are or podcast shows? Who are your top 5?
It's funny. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't have time to even listen or watch podcasts because I got 2 little kids right now in my life.
Right.
I got a baby that's about to be 1 year old, and I got my daughter's about to be 3 years old. So when I'm not working, I'm just daddy duty all day long. But
right.
I do check out like little like when they put clips on YouTube. That's what I do get to check out. And actually, I listen to a lot of stuff that's not hip hop. I mean, I check out Joe Rogan's podcast. Then there's this dude that Joe Rogan's podcast put me onto called Lex Friedman, is like this MIT like engineer dude that he be having like all these scientists. And then of course, I'll check out the Breakfast Club, and I'll check out Rap Radar stuff and stuff like that. And I definitely am one of those dudes that scour the internet and like to see interesting clips and stuff and see what other people are doing, but I just don't have time for long form right now.
Right. Okay, that's dope. So before we get out of here, man, I definitely want to once again say I appreciate you coming through. I've clawed and scratched for this interview for a long time, and brother, it's just a amazing feeling to sit here in front of you. I feel like we have so much more conversation we can get.
This is part 1. We'll do it again for sure, man.
We'll do it again. But before you get out of here, what's in your playlist right now? Who are you listening to, old or young?
Oh man, I'm listening to Denzel Curry out of Miami. I'm listening to Kendrick all the time. I mean, he's one of my favorite artists right now of all time.
Definitely.
I've been listening to a lot of Tribe Called Quest recently too.
Tribe.
Yeah, and I listen to a lot of other stuff. I listen to a lot of Bob Marley around the kids. That's like to me, Bob Marley is like the safest thing to listen to around my kids. and it's a vibe, So I be playing Bob Marley playlists all day long around the kids, and that's kind of like what my playlist is right now, man.
Okay. I know. For me, I got
and the Griselda camp too. I've been checking them out a lot too.
Griselda, and then I was about to go Griselda. I've been catching up. I unfortunately I didn't listen to MF Doom while he was alive, so I'm going back and
Doom is
dude is Jesus Christ. That's scary to know where he could his potential he had, man. It was just crazy. Kendrick was definitely one of my favorite artists also. And to me, one of the greatest to ever touch the mic besides Hope.
I agree, man. I think so too, man.
So I listened to a little bit of the younger generation, Lil Baby, one of my favorite younger generation rappers out here. I would love to have seen what Pop Smoke became.
Yeah, Pop Smoke actually is dope. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I think it was short-lived, so I would love to have seen what he become over time. And other than that, Nipsey Nipsey.
Yeah, yep.
Nipsey is my morning motivation. When I wake up, I gotta have some Nipsey in my ear. So
Yeah, man.
definitely appreciate
Rest
that.
in peace to Nip.
Yeah, rest in peace to Nip, man. Nip was one of them guys who you seen had a high ceiling, man, and it was. I felt like it was getting there. I actually sat down and watched the marathon 10-year anniversary visuals that came on YouTube the other night, so it was dope. EFN, man, I appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Support. This is dope. This is the Hitbwoy Show with my brother DJEFN. Hey, EFN, how can I get some crazy good gear? Or how could they get some crazy good gear?
Man, just check us at crazyhood.com and don't forget drinkchamps.com as well.
Yes, sir. Hey, EFN, I appreciate you, my brother.
Thank you.
Big special thank you to Jay Havana for working with me. Just strenuously over time. He just
good dude, man. Stay in contact with him as well, man.
Right. So EFN, I appreciate you. This is gonna wrap up the show, my brother. I'll be in contact with you more. We're gonna tap in a little bit. We're gonna do a part 2 to this.
No, we definitely doing a part 2. No, we need a good hour, at least a good hour for sure.
A good hour.
All right.
You know what? You can have Nori with you. You can bring the horn, the air horn with you. Nori can roll up. We can make this the whole big thing here. You know what I mean? Hey, EFN, man, stay safe down there. Hey, look, real quick before you go, what you thought about Tampa and Kansas City?
Bruh, I knew it was gonna be like that. Come on, man.
Hey, look, hold on. It's right here. Let me just show you this.
And you know I'm a rep for Florida regardless.
Big Tampa fan, brother.
Yeah. I'm a rep for Florida.
Fan, yes, sir. So that was dope, man. Hey, you went to the parade?
Nah.
You didn't make it to the parade?
Nah. I got kids, man. I ain't doing shit.
Hey, man, I appreciate you as always, brother. Stay safe down there. Love, man.
You too. Peace, brother.
Y'all check out Drink Champs, and y'all definitely go visit crazyhoods.com to get your merch. I'm DJ Hitbwoy. This is the Hitbwoy Show. Peace.
All right, bro.